This is my pizza.
Right then. Has anybody got any wins from this week? This last week? Any cheap leads, books they've read? We've seen all the go lives. Any interaction with prospects or anyone?
I've started running ads on Instagram that are going pretty well.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Are they coming in at a good price?
Not bad. It's still early, but obviously they're so easy to write compared to Facebook ads because it's literally like 125 characters. So easy for split testing, and they've got loads of engagement as well. I think I've had like 12 link clicks for £1.20 this morning or something. So
pretty good. Tashi's on the bus, and Harriet's in the bath.
I can hear now. Let me mute this.
I don't know this work from the bath.
Yeah, any more wins? Any more winning ads or anything?
Well, I'm definitely really glad that that I did a couple of go lives. Personally, for me, it was a lot harder this time because my confidence took a bit of a bashing with the whole like losing the job thing. But it's really kind of sort of revived, and kind of built up my confidence a bit more again, having done it. Because I'm just like, well, if I can do it feeling less confident, then then that's amazing, and it's made me feel a lot better. So that's good.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it the one in the PQ1 group? I think you did.
Yeah, I did one on my page, and then I did one in the PQ1 group.
Yeah. Did you get sort of quite a bit of interaction and everything?
Yeah. People were like commenting, and since then, here I can't see him here, but Stuart Revs, he actually created a personal Facebook page for me, and then sent me all the details. And so far, it seems to be okay. Seems to be working. Right. So I'll start get that seasoned.
Yeah, that's all good.
I made it to 25 this week. It's about as much of a win as I've got.
Hold down.
Hello.
I think Steve Preston got his first lead this week, I believe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, this morning, woke up to a nice lead coming in, which perfect. Just briefing on Camilla as well. The first live go live, I did mine last week, and like it took me a good 5 minutes to get the confidence to do it. And now, like you do one every day, it just seems in second nature. Like you press the button and just do it. It makes it so much easier when you just like keep doing it. Definitely. Yeah.
Sure. Doing it every day is just massive. Even like I said to Adam, I messaged Adam the other day and said like, even just Adam's go lives since doing it every day are just the content and the delivery is just so far superior than it was. I watched your first one the other day, Adam. And
when I handed my notice in one.
Yeah, I watched that, and then compared to the one you did last night, it's like, wow, it's like two different people. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That was in PQ1 as well, so you think you'd feel a bit more comfortable, but obviously it shows. I mean, if I'd have done something like that on my personal page or something, well, I wouldn't have done it, I don't think, but yeah, you can see, and like I think you said before, Josh, looking at like Ty Lopez and people like that, and compare it, like YouTube in their first one, and watching that compared with what they come up with now, it's like it's unbelievable. But everyone's got to start somewhere, I guess, haven't they? And the hardest one, like a lot of things in life, is probably the first one that you do, especially in business anyway. And probably, like Steve says, like you do your second, your third, your fourth, and it just does get gradually easier, and you do feel a bit more comfortable. Even on your first one, like I was watching Harriet's last night, and like sort of I think it was about 7, 8 or 10 minutes, something like that. But like, say 4 or 5 minutes into it, you could tell she was getting more into it and the words were coming out a lot more easier.
Yeah, it was very good, Harriet. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed them all this week.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you'll find as well, if you do it every day, I don't know, Steve, you've been doing it every day, but I actually look forward to it now. Like, I just can't wait to just get out there and start ranting. So it's
good
like
therapy, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and like no one can tell you to stop talking. So yeah, just keep going.
Sometimes it can be like that though, can't it? It can be just a rant, something that you want to get off your chest, something that's bugged you and you want to put the wheels to rights, but you're getting stuff out there, so that's it.
I think
definitely.
I find it really hard to do short ones, because you were saying before, Adam, that you should really kind of, like, for people's attention span, you should try and keep it to like 3 or 5 minutes. But I find that I just ramble on for ages, and then I'm just like, oh, I've just done like 10 minutes or something.
I suppose it's not too bad if you've got people listening then and interacting with you, then that can take it longer, and that's fair enough. If you've got people interacting with you, yeah, by all means it can go to 10 minutes. It depends on your message as well. If you just like Josh was this evening, was like 15-20 minutes, but he had a lot of interaction. He was getting all his points across, and I think you said at the end, Josh, like, you don't actually realise that you've been on 20 minutes.
Yeah, it goes so quick. And if you write, obviously, I'm doing it now where I'm trying to like give content, and when you feel like you've got loads to say in a structure, it makes sense to go. Like, I couldn't do what I did tonight in 3 minutes, but if you just want to like jump on and just start ranting, it could be like 4 minutes of no interaction. You're not looking for people to reply. You're just there. You just like fed up a scene, blah, 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 and then people come back and watch that after. So it's just different content.
Even
Yeah,
getting back to what I mentioned last week and I've mentioned before, the kind of documenting versus creating. And if some of you saw, I'd done like a 2 minute or 1 minute and 30 second go live. That was literally just a birthday present I got. And it was the "You Are a Badass" button, and you just press it and it's like "You Are a Badass" or "Feed Fear" as "Suck It" sandwich, and some other little things. And I just kind of pressed that a few times, and it's just like kind of shows people a snippet into your life and kind of where you're at. So it can literally be anything.
Yeah, so any other wins for this week from anyone?
Neil started put his page together, I think, today, I think. So
Yeah,
on board, which looks good. So
yeah. Is he on at all, or?
Can't see him, but I know he said he was off the grid or something. So
yeah,
he's getting himself set up. So that's winning for him if he's still around, but I don't think he's there.
Yeah, he might be watching the replay. But yeah, I've seen his fan page. If everyone gives it a like, I think he's posted it in
our group, I think.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and he posted it in the pin post as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Neil's up and running.
Actually, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to, is it Jason, whose page is Reality Hack?
Oh yeah, quality.
Yeah,
that was an amazing go live.
Yeah.
Even though his camera messed up, he kept on going and kind of didn't let it.
Yeah, and his blog, if anyone hasn't read his blog, it's amazing.
Yeah, and even down to his like cover photo on his like page, his fan page. That's really good. It's something like I've taken note from that, and I'm going to kind of recreate my cover photo on my page and things like that. So yeah, if he's watching the replay, I don't believe he's on right now, but Adam Jason.
Yeah, so what kind of stuff's on his page then? I've not really had a look over it, to be honest.
He shares a lot of articles on his page as well. They're really useful. And then obviously I sent you a screenshot of his cover photo, didn't I? Because it's called Reality Hack.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very professional, if I'm honest. The way kind of the camera work is, the way it's all set out, it's really eye-catching, and yeah, with credit where credit's due.
Cool. Right, shall we go into what we was going to sort of share with everyone, Lilibeth?
Yeah, absolutely. You okay to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll just try and screen share. Right, so 1 sec. Let me just I had it up with 1 sec. Let's just get it up off screen 1 second.
Tell a quick story while we're waiting. I went back and looked at split testing on a video from like the beginning. So if you go to tech calls, you go scroll to the bottom. There's a first one ever, and there's about 6 people on it. Rich is on it, and Nate and Rob, Rise, a few others. Anyway, Nate tells a story about this guy that got himself injured at work and got a massive payout, got about 180 grand. And he basically spent that on various different online businesses, just started them up, failed, start them up, failed, start them up, failed, did about 7 apparently. Got to his last kind of like 200 quid or something, he had 200 quid to his name. And he got, I think he either got an advert from Facebook via the a Gaz or whatever it was, saw it, got involved, had to take he didn't have no credit either, so he had to take a loan from like a loan shark of like a ridiculous APR. And so he took the loan shark, got trifecta, paid that back, and paid that loan back inside, I think it was inside 2 months. He had 2 months to pay it off, and he managed to make 17 grand back inside 2 months, just phoning everyone he needed to get it back. But because obviously he saw the value in what was available from Magic, he just went all in. And it's quite a good story, to be fair. I was like, oh, this is good. Quite motivational.
I think I've seen that before, Ali. I just can't remember his name.
It's Brian or something, I think it is. But I'll go back and watch it. But it's on the first one. Well, if you go back to all the tech calls, on the first one ever.
Yeah.
It's quite motivating to show you to how much someone saw value in what you do as such, and jump straight in.
Yeah.
Went all in as such.
Right, I've got the information, so let me just share my screen. Right, so what we was going to talk about was the system that we're using, the complete Project Q1 funnel, the sales funnel that we use, and the 90% automated part of it, and the 10% that's not automated, and then Lilibeth added in unwavering belief. So this, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Right, let me just see if I can move that there. So this is the Project Q1 complete funnel that we use, like in the background, the 90% of it. So most people will only really see a couple of things off this, which are the first 2 things. The first thing is, number 1, the landing page. And this is, everyone's got one that is affiliated at the moment and that's running ads. So this is, the landing page where people put their name and email in to register for the webinar. Now that is set up through ClickFunnels, which we use. The landing page, people put their name and email in, and that basically goes straight through to my autoresponder, or Richard's, or Lilibeth's, as she's just getting set up. So what happens is their name and email go through to my autoresponder, which is called Aweber, and automatically that person who's registered their name and email, they will get an automatic string of emails from me. They'll get 1 email every day for 7 days. And the first email is, you may have seen them from me if you're still registered. The first email is just like a welcome email, and it also says, click here to watch last week's webinar, or the last webinar. And then the string of emails that follows that is basically just a brief story about me, But also I drop in the webinar link in each and every one of those, as well as the free PDF which I got through Ryan, which is Think and Grow Rich. And also they can click to add me on Facebook as well. So that's the landing page, and that's how that works. And then once that person has registered, they then go through a system called Zapier, which is the actual it's the actual internet site that links things together. So what that actually does is that sends information to a Google Sheet, which if everyone's affiliated, they've all got a Google Sheet, which is a spreadsheet of the leads that come through on what day and what time and what's the name and what's the email address of that person. So once they've put their details in as well, they'll immediately, the page will flick to a thank you page. And that thank you page has also a few steps to follow, such as add me on Facebook, and here is the link, here is the click on this button to watch the last webinar. So that's what most people, well, everyone who is affiliated has got these two pages that they've probably seen already. So then the third step of the funnel is the webinar itself. So it's the webinar room, and that's the page where on a Sunday you can watch the live webinar, and it will have the comments in underneath, and it will have a button saying join our team. And that page is up there all week round for people to watch the replay as well. So obviously on the replay, the comments, there's no sort of live chat or anything on the replay. So that's the third part of the funnel, the webinar room. And then the fourth part is the order form, which is obviously as simple as that really. People complete their details, and well, it says $99, but they pay the £79 in the UK, and they can pay that by a merchant called Stripe or PayPal. And then that sends information as well through Zapier to tell me who signed up at what time, and I can find the person's lead on Google Sheets just by typing their name and email in, and that will bring me up the actual person's name who's run the ad to find out whose lead that person is that's come through. So I'll just move this if I can. Then number 5 is nothing too much to worry about. It's just the order confirmation page, telling people that their order's gone through, and telling people that automatically sends out an email for them to create an account to work through the members area. The 6th part is the members area, which everyone who's on here has got access to. So it's the training area where you can book the coaching calls. You can fill out a coaching questionnaire, as it says down here, which we use Google Forms, and then we use that Acuity scheduling to book coaching calls with myself or Lilibeth or Richard. And people get emails as well automatically to book a coaching call. They get a couple of emails just to remind them to book the coaching call as well. And yeah, that's actually, so this option 6 is the sign up page to log in, and the 7th part of the funnel is the members area. So that is the full sort of funnel that we use. That's what goes off in the background when people are sort of running ads, and that's sort of what happens to each individual person when they become affiliated. They will get the first 2 parts of the funnel, and then these further 5 parts are sort of in the background working on their own. And how it works on its own is, for example, if someone watches the webinar, part 3, the webinar replay, they click join our team, it sends them to the next part. 1 click will send them to the next part of the funnel. So 1 click, join our team in the webinar replay room, will take them to the next part automatically, the order form, and then the next part and the next part, and so on. So that's how the funnel works with ClickFunnels, which is sort of a really clever piece of equipment. It's a really clever website that we use. you can sort of create sales funnels for any type of sort of business similar to what we're in. And as part of that as well, that the person that made ClickFunnels, I don't know if you know, which is Russell Brunson. He's the guy who wrote the books .com Secret and Expert Secrets as well. So yeah, he knows his stuff, and that's the guy that sets up ClickFunnels. So yeah, has anyone got any questions about that funnel? Is that roughly what everyone thought happened, or
Yep.
is that all quite clear?
The only reason we've kind of thought about completely explaining it to you guys is just so that you know kind of what happens in the background of your business and how it's all connected, and the 90% that is done for you. And yeah, kind of if any of you are interested in kind of creating your own funnel and doing the kind of behind the scenes part in the future, this is what it kind of entails. And obviously your coach and mentors will help you set that up anyway. But yeah, it was just kind of really explain what goes into the behind the scenes of kind of each and every one of your funnels and how it's all connected.
I think
One question.
Oh, go on. Sorry, Ali, you go first.
So it's just a question. It was about well, not a question really, but on the view content lead part.
Yeah.
So when I was when I was under Ryan's funnel, I didn't have that view content part in my Pixel information. You can get it via the Pixel. I do have it on yours now, which is I don't know what that was.
I'm not sure. Obviously the system that Rob made a coach's sort of members area.
Yeah, you said, yeah.
To sort of train people like myself how to get set up with this, and that's just what he advised. So obviously on the view content part is the person that's actually maybe just viewed the landing page, like not sort of fully took action, put their name in. They might have just had a look at it, and then the lead part is obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I just wondered why it changed on mine. Why it changed on mine. I didn't understand that, but that's the only thing I was questioning.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure really, Ali. I just sort of maybe Ryan just bothered with putting.
Didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's something quite useful for because obviously it's your Pixel information again, so it's not someone that's actually clicked it, which you can use and you can leverage against your lookalike audience as such, and use that. So it's another. I mean, it widens your gap. So say for example, you've got 300 leads, but you might have 600 new content. So therefore, it gives you a bit more of a kind of wider scope.
Yeah, like you say, you probably if someone has just nearly put their details in, but they've not actually put their details in, guess you could target them.
I think that's what I think Harriet was doing the same thing. Actually, she said she was using a view content as a lookalike and not a lead. So people that actually looked at something and said it was working for her. So I mean, yeah, some people are going to click in. So it's definitely someone showing. It's obviously someone taking action. Obviously, they're not made a lead, but if you're looking for a kind of lookalike audience, then that's obviously quite useful as well.
Yeah, like you said,
you're like where you don't have many leads. So when I was making the lookalikes, there was no point doing leads because I think I only had something like 20, so you're not really going to get much from that. But I had like hundreds of website views.
Right,
so it's good for people starting out, definitely.
Yeah, so it's like obviously people that have got that far, they've just not made the final step to watch the webinar, I guess.
Yeah, it could be a number of reasons, but I think at least they're showing that they're clicking. They're taking action. And yeah, I mean, so for example, today I was speaking to Josh earlier. I had an ad which run and did 10. I think this week it done 10 lead clicks, but no one lead. Sorry. And so obviously, yeah, you've got 10 there. If your ratio is that, and you've got 100 leads in your pot, but you've got 1,000 clicks, then obviously you can use that to kind of build your database as such.
Yeah, definitely.
It must just be a feature that Ryan hasn't added or felt he didn't need.
Yeah.
Funnel, but
I'd be interested to know if he's got it on his, or maybe it's been added since. I don't know. But I never saw it until I moved on to Adams, and then it was available. So.
Yeah,
definitely something to take note of. If anybody can't access that and wants to, just kind of contact the relevant people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Adam, And for people just looking at the funnel, I think it's important to understand, even if you don't have to understand every single part, but when you get leads coming through, if you advertise a 90% done system and then the lead asks you, oh, what exactly do I get? If you don't fully understand this, or you don't have any inclination of what actually happens, and they ask you, you just go, well, it's like this thing. And then they're just going to be like, well, this guy doesn't really he's not an expert. He doesn't fully know what he's talking about, you know? So I think you don't have to be a tech wizard, but maybe just print this out and get.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I can print. Well, I can forward it on email to you. Yeah, that's no problem.
Thank you.
But like Josh said, just give you a better understanding of what's happening behind the scenes. And if someone says to you, which is quite possible, because we do put it on adverts, like the 90% done for your system, you can say, well, everything is working in the background. Sales leads are sort of coming through automatically because of the systems we've got set in place when people register their interest.
It could be the tipping point for some people as well. I know when I first looked at it, I'd already seen a ClickFunnels before, so I just wanted to like double check that, because some people, you don't know what their the belief is that's stopping them from joining, and if this is one of them, it's such an easy thing to know, to have in your repertoire of rebuttals to when people aren't interested in the system. If you know it inside out, or you can be like, well, what happens is X, Y, Z. They're like, wow, that sounds like something I want it to be involved with. So
that's it, yeah. And the main thing is as well, obviously, this is called a sales funnel because it does the job of a funnel. It starts off sort of at the top with a broad range of people that we're looking at, that are looking at our ads and are slightly interested, some more than others, and then it sort of drains out the people that are not really interested. They were just asking questions, to the people that are really interested, and they come through the funnel, watch the webinar, and by the time they come through to Project Q1, the chances are most of the time they are really interested in starting up a business. And that sort of separates the people at the top who are just looking at the ads or just messaging you to be a bit nosy or not really got the confidence to do it, or whatever reason it is. And that's the reason why it's called a sales funnel, because obviously it goes right down, and the end goal is to get people through to Project Q1. So yeah, that was the funnel part of things. So I think Lilybeth is going to run through the next part, which is your 10%. So that was the 90%. So the next part is your 10%.
So guys, a lot of you all know kind of what your 10% is, and a lot of you have been doing it for a couple of months now, or kind of best part of a year. But just to kind of really highlight it again, is your 10% is just to follow the step-by-step training that's provided. It's there for a reason, and some people will kind of skip it and think, oh, it's all right, I don't need that one, and it will get to a point where something will go wrong, you're like, oh, actually, and you'll be asked by a coach or mentor, and you'll have to go back and re-watch them. So the training's really easy, it's really simple, just watch them really. The guys put in as much as they can to help you and kind of support you, so it's there for a reason. And then just stay connected within the community and trust us, it works. We don't know how turning up to masterminds, being in group chats, works, but it does. You're constantly gaining knowledge from people, you're constantly kind of absorbing things that people say or do, or kind of taking note on people's go lives, and really kind of being connected with them. And they're the best people to be connected with, people in the community, because everybody's positive, everybody's happy, everybody's here to support you. There's no kind of negativity. So that was kind of the second step, is just to stay connected as much as you can. I'm going to click my button, Adam.
Yeah.
and then your fan page. So it's something I always seem to touch on, but your fan page is yours, be you, and you're a big deal. There's nobody else that is you. Be as magical, as bright, as wonderful as you can, and just really kind of be yourself at the end of the day. Whether that's through go lives, through kind of your adverts, you're all going to target different people because you're all different people. Nobody's going to really target the same audience. So that's why kind of everybody's so kind of important. You are a big deal, and just kind of really find yourself and kind of love yourself and promote yourself. You are your brand now. And that's how I see kind of my page. It's almost like an online diary. So yeah, as soon as you kind of get that right, when people are clicking through and looking at your fan page from your ads or whatever, they'll kind of feel a closer connection with you as well.
Yeah, I'll just sort of butt in on that one with the adverts. I was just going to say that I've sort of tried quite a lot of different adverts, and I always feel, if possible, wherever possible, try and maybe target an audience that might relate to you in some way. Whether they relate to you because you're targeting a job that you have been in or you are in, whether they're targeting you, whether you're targeting people with a similar interest to you, so you might have something to talk about if people do message you. Where I went wrong there once, I noticed that Sam was doing an ad and he was getting quite a lot of sign-ups and bringing quite a lot of people into Project Q1, running an ad targeting the army. Obviously, he was actually in the army, so I thought I'd give that a go, and it didn't really work out for me. The cost per lead was really high, but I stuck at it and brought a couple of people into Project Q1, and one guy was sort of really controversial and not very happy that I'd targeted the army. So it didn't work out for me doing it that way. So it does help massively if you're targeting some type of audience in an ad that relates to you in some way, whether it's sort of travel because you like traveling, whether it's a job that you've got and you're targeting a similar job to what you're in, or whether it's in any kind of interest. It does sort of help with ads, I find. So yeah, back to you, Lilibeth.
Just put a message in the chat actually saying I'm an army wife, and then and if you wanted to target the army, you could say but couldn't. So Adam was kind of at a point where he was bringing these people in, and then they almost turned on him because they didn't kind of believe that he was ethically targeting the right people. Whereas yourself, you've got a story, you've got a connection with the army, so it's something that you could do. Whereas Adam didn't really have kind of a story to support him. So yeah, just going back to what Adam said, be true to yourself and kind of target the people that you can relate to, and that you can support the best way that you can as well. So yeah, again, next bullet point, we've got read books, expand your knowledge, personally and professionally. So if anyone's new into the community, you'll see that obviously we're quite big in kind of personal development, but also kind of industry-wise. So the books that kind of we speak about most are .com Secrets and Expert Secrets. But yeah, just kind of really trying to expand your knowledge and engage with this business. It's your business at the end of the day, and it's only going to succeed if you kind of invest in it, both time and money or effort or anything. Kind of you have to make it your focus. So yeah, kind of read books, and there's an ever-growing list within Project Q1 of books. And then finally, that does not say create. Create your goals, visualize them, write them down, and look back on them in a few months to see how far you've come. So if any of you follow Ryan on, I think it was his Instagram today, he writes a diary every single day, and at the moment he's in the process of looking over last year's diary. So he's looking at where he was this point last year, which kind of sparked his post, I think, today as well, regarding having 100 members this time last year and having 800 members within Project Q1, January 2008.
God, I didn't know it was that much. Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of, if you just keep on going and you don't really write your goals down, you don't really kind of visualize where you want to be, you might get to a point where you don't actually know how far you've come. So yeah, I'd just say kind of keep track of it really. And then just tying in with that is a slide I've added at the end is unwavering belief. So really kind of believe in yourself, believe in the system, and believe that you can make it work. I've got a few quotes on this page for you guys to have a look at. So if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's Henry Ford. Basically what he's saying is whether you constantly are in a negative state and you think you can't achieve it, you never will. But if you are kind of positive and you're pushing and aiming towards your goals, then again, you're right, you will achieve it because you're working towards it. Our next one is imagine everything. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of what's to come in life. And that's by Winston Churchill, I believe, if Adam presses my button. Oh no, Albert Einstein, the next one's Winston Churchill. And yeah, kind of, again, it ties in with the Henry Ford one. So if you believe that something's going to happen and you're going to achieve your dreams and you imagine it every day or it's there for you to picture, it will kind of materialise and you will achieve it. And then our last one, you create your own universe as you go along. And that's Winston Churchill. I don't know how many of you guys have kind of read into the law of attraction and how many of you actually believe it. But for me, if you're focused on something and you're working towards it, you're going to achieve it. Whether you believe in the whole universe and everything like that is a completely different story. But focusing on your goals and working towards them, it's just it can't do you any harm. It's only going to do good. So yeah, a few little words at the bottom. So just believe in the unseen, believe in yourself, believe with all your heart, believe in the system and your dreams and everything. So yeah, that's all the content that we had today. Have any of you got any questions regarding any of it?
Yeah, I think with the if you look into the law of attraction, I did a video on it a few days ago, and like the quantum physics behind it. If you actually like read into it and start like just, well, it's not even believing in it. Like they think they can prove it now, but if you just look at it and start doing it, you'll start to notice like real weird things happening all the time. And again, it's not like it's the energy that you like vibrate off. And I was like well skeptical about 6 months ago, but if you like run an advert with a negative mindset, it will literally, like, the amount of times I've done that where I've been tired when I've clicked go or something, and it just like dives and I get no leads. And then the flip of that, when I go to run an advert with like being super positive and be like, this is it, this is the one, it nearly always, it always outperforms the other one. So it's really easy to do. And if you start living it every day, it becomes like unconsciously competent, and it's just really good from there. So.
Have you guys ever heard of Not Dr. Tamara?
I haven't.
She's on Instagram. She's not controversial or anything like that, but she's like wacky. She's so out there. So her Instagram's actually Not, and then DR as Doctor, and then Tamara, and she's all into like being so positive, laws of attraction, manifestation, but she does it in such a like, I'm not going to do this in a flouncy way. These are the facts, like work with them. And it's all about how, if you're negative about something, like I really was when I first started this. I know Adam will probably say I was so annoying when I first came into this, being like, why is it not working quickly? Like, why is this not going fast enough? As soon as I flipped that around, I was like, this is going to work. This is absolutely amazing. I started getting all my leads and I got my first sign up. So it's like huge proof. And I did one of those things. I don't know if any of you read about the thing where, I think it was in Think and Grow Rich. I can't remember where I read it, where a guy wasn't really sure if he believed in the law of attraction. And so he decided to picture a feather and like a really complex pattern on this feather, and he pictured it every single day and told himself he was going to see this feather, and then one day it just like fell down in front of him.
Isn't that?
And I tried something where I just thought, right, I'm going to think of the most obscure kind of sweet I can think of and picture it in my petrol station on the way home. And it'd never been in that petrol station ever before. And after about like 3 weeks, they started stocking it in that petrol station. So I'm like massive believer in the laws of attraction for sure. Okay, someone please talk now.
I was just going to say, was it Grant that just started to speak a second ago?
I think that was me. Did he come through?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, all it was I just want to say that I think that was from The Secret, the thing about the feather.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it is. Because I wanted to touch upon that. To be fair, I'm pretty new. Hello, everybody who doesn't know me. I'm Grant. Hello. Thanks for the waves. It's my birthday. Hello.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But basically, all it is, I read The Secret about a year and a half ago. Like one of the worst points in my life, and I was just down and low. I hadn't got a job for 6 months straight. Absolutely 6 months straight. Nothing. Couldn't get nothing. And I've read that book. Never read a book before this. Couldn't put it down. Couldn't stop smiling. Couldn't stop feeling good because it was just basic knowledge. It's like if you believe in gravity, that's theoretical physics. You know what I mean? And so is the cognitive work we talk about, telling yourself more and more and more. And the next day, my friend's here, she can back me up. The next day, I got 4 on-the-spot interviews, which I've never done in my life. And I got a job for the day after that. And it works, it really does. And I've just had this as a birthday present. That's more work at The Secret. So if anybody's out there thinking that they can't do something, whether it's getting up in the morning, whether it's eating right, whether it's doing Project Q1 and investing in yourself, you can do it. You've just got to tell yourself a bit more. Do you know what I mean? It's not egotistical, it's just healthy. Do you know what I mean? You want to live out your goals and your dreams. There's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Not at all. I actually got a DVD for my birthday on Monday, Grant. So, but yeah, kind of something with me, going back to when I was working, I really wanted this watch at work. And it was a Vivienne Westwood watch, and it was tanned leather. And I really wanted it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to get it. I don't need it in my life. I've got how many other watches? I've been here so many years, don't need it. But every day I'd go into work, and every other day I'd try it on. And I'd constantly sit there and be like, oh, but I really want it. And every payday that come past, I'd be like, should I get it? And I'd be like, no, I don't need it. And then kind of a couple of months later, a competition came on at work, and Vivienne Westwood are not the kind of company that normally put a competition on. The competition was the person that sold the most watches. And lo and behold, a month or two later, the competition came to an end, and I was like, oh, I haven't won this. I haven't really sold many Vivienne Westwood watches. They haven't been that popular the past couple of months. But I actually won out of kind of 84 stores on the company. And I was like, how have I done this? And they sent me that watch. And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, kind of, you've just got to believe in your dreams. You've got to work towards them. You've got to visualize them, picture them. If you want a car, go out and test drive it and kind of just really feel the emotions of what you're working towards. So yeah, kind of, I'm quite a big fan of the law of attraction and the secret, the magic, all that kind of jazz. If you haven't read them, I'd highly recommend it.
Another one that Laurie was talking about recently was Ask and It's Given.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it's the
No,
same.
I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm probably going to put that on my list. Maybe get it on audio or something. Because it's on there.
Yeah, I've started reading that. Pretty good. I've just got about 8 books on the go, so the list just keeps growing. But yeah, it's good. One thing I do as well, and I just do this every, sometimes twice a day, especially if you're down, it's just these. You probably can't see these, but affirmations. And when I first started doing them, I'd write 3 and then be like, oh my God, I can't think of any more. And I read a thing where a guy has 5,000 things that he is, and he knows them all off by heart. And I was like, how is that possible? And I started doing this maybe 3 months ago, and now nightly it probably gets to mid 40s of things that like I am, and are all different. So like that's really good, and it's just positive again, isn't it? And it works.
Do you do some gratitude ones as well, or is it just
yeah. I do
madness?
that. I do that in the morning. Yeah, when I get up, just do like 15 minutes of that. Yeah, it's all good.
I always tell myself I don't have time to do things like that, but the reality is, of course, I have. I'm just not doing it. So I definitely should start.
It's just trying to get into the habit of doing it. I got a gratitude book from my friend for Christmas, and I find that like I'll go through phases of being really regular and putting in there, and you've got to do like 3 every single day, 3 things, and they can be really little that you're grateful for, and at the end of the week then you have to put the thing that you're most grateful for. But I find that maybe like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday I'll put them in, and then I'll realise it'll come to Saturday and I'm like, oh, I haven't done Fridays or today's at all, and I'm like, what was I grateful for on that day? And then it's really difficult to try and remember what happened and what you're kind of grateful for. So I think it's just getting into the habit of doing it. That's the hardest thing, really.
And like, do you find yourself, I know I'm awful at this, and please tell me other people do this as well, get into bed just before they're about to go to sleep and end up scrolling through Instagram or Facebook for about 15 minutes? Think how much you could use that time. So I'll have to do a swap. No scrolling, writing gratitudes.
Leave your phone out your bedroom. That's what I do. Leave it out your bedroom.
I don't alarm clock that.
The first hour when you get up as well. Because if you use it the first hour and you like read a post that's like real bad, then the rest of your day is just negative. So
that's such a good point.
Yeah,
I was doing the Mel Robbins thing where she says obviously if you can put it outside your room better, but I just put my phone on my dressing table, and it's probably one of the only things, like when I've kind of like let things slide, it's probably one of the only things that I still actually do, and because it's kind of just became a habit without even really thinking about it. And I put it on my dressing table, and I've got an alarm that goes up there so I can still hear it. And I try and set just one alarm and then get out of bed when that alarm goes off, as opposed to like snoozing it and then kind of going into that, like, I can't remember what it's called now, and I think I did chat about it in one of the quite early calls. Sleep inertia. Yeah, sleep inertia. If you snooze your alarm, basically it means that you're not kind of fully functioning for the first like 4 hours, which is meant to be like your most productive time of the day. So that's one thing that I've kind of like really stuck to, and I definitely think that it kind of helps, just to not feel like you're walking around like a zombie. But yeah, so you can't play with your phone because it's on the side there. I mean, I have got into a little bit of habit of playing on my phone, but I will put it there before I go to bed, and then I can't sit there and play on it. And I mean, generally I do a bit of sleep kind of meditation before bed, but I probably need to start doing that a bit earlier.
Also, kind of a little tip. I know that Ryan does this, Ryan Roberts. But even if you need your phones for alarms, etc., just pop them on airplane mode. As soon as you get into bed, just pop it into airplane mode. You've got your alarm, it's near you. You're not going to get any anxieties that it's run off. But yeah, just pop it into airplane mode, and then you've still got your alarm, but also you're kind of disconnected from the internet, from the world, and that's your time to kind of write what you're grateful for or any kind of affirmation.
I get freaked out with airplane mode because I'm one of those people that's like, oh my goodness, what happens if something bad happens to my family? So I do mine on do not disturb. It's an iPhone thing, or if Android does it as well, but you can have your family members as if they call you, or if anyone calls you twice within 5 minutes, like it'll ring. I'm one of those warriors, like, what happens if someone has like an accident? But I think that's a really good idea, because then you're not going to have people texting you and kind of distracting you and making you go over and get into a conversation, which happens all the time.
Okay, guys, so we're nearly coming to the end of the Mastermind. Adam, do you want to do the announcement?
Yeah, just regarding the Go Live Challenge, there's quite a few good ones. Obviously, we discussed them at the beginning. Camila, Steve, who's been with us sort of over a week to 10 days, smashed a few out. Saw Ali's one today. That was good. Harriet's last night again. I know how nervous you are when you was messaging me before Harriet. So I think you smashed it really. I mean, you covered absolutely everything. I didn't really see you fumble or anything like that. So yeah, and I know how nervous you were before, so that made it even better really. Charisse, saw your 2, I think, this week, these last couple of days. And I think I saw Stacey's as well. I don't know if I've missed anyone. Josh does one every day, which I watches as well. And that's been quality. So it was quite hard to pick a winner. With me and Lilybeth was discussing it earlier. We picked, in the end, Charisse.
Look at your face. Aww.
Me?
Yeah. Again, it was your first one. I liked the bit about us all rowing in the rowing boat. And we can all row together. So yeah, it was brilliant. Just message me after and then we'll sort your book out. But yeah, everyone's was brilliant, and obviously I think a lot of people, including Charisse, have got their first ones out of the way. So obviously, if you carry on doing them on whatever page you feel comfortable with, it'll obviously only benefit you in the future. You'll not be as scared to press that live. And like everyone did, everyone went in at a different angle. Some people talked about Project Q1. Some people talked about getting out of the comfort zone. Obviously, you can talk about absolutely anything. So yeah, I think it was a great success. And I'll get your book sorted if you message me after, Charisse.
Yep, lovely. Thank you.
Charisse, have you got any tips for anyone, or kind of any challenges that you overcome to get those kind of go lives done that you want to share? Or
well, you obviously knew how nervous I was beforehand, so that was one challenge, getting over that. But
yeah, did you feel a lot better after, Harriet?
So from mine ended up being 8.5 minutes, which was way longer than I thought it was going to be. And weirdly, when I started, the nerves went straight away, completely went. And then about 2 minutes in, because I was just looking at the camera, and then 2 minutes in, I looked to see how many people were watching and saw that there were 19 people watching, and I instantly started shaking. My camera was literally doing this, and I had to hold it with both hands and put it on the sofa to stop my hands shaking. And I could feel my cheeks starting to get really red, so I had to really calm myself down. And then after it was over, I was shaking so badly, but within about 5 minutes I was like, I want to do another one.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest feeling, and now I want to do one every day. Josh, I totally understand why you do them all the time. It's such a good buzz.
Yeah, you also get outrageous reach. I've just finished a video that's going in the group. Rye's just looking at it, but just looking into the breakdown of the numbers behind a go live compared to a regular video, and essentially you get 10 times more reach. So we think that as percentage wise, converting leads and getting people interested, it's just, if you're not doing them, you're leaving 90% on the table. So go for it. And
yeah,
just
I've been on for 20, I think it's been on for 22 hours or something. It's had almost 400 views.
Yeah.
I don't even get 400 views on any of my posts.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll get, it's just disproportionate. Facebook loves it, and with the new changes that are coming in, it's getting even more favoured. So yeah,
I'd say don't worry about the story too much as well, because as long as you've got what you want to say, there'll be comments coming in hopefully in the chat which will extend what you're saying. So you don't need to worry too much about getting the structure nailed down and having sort of your 10-minute block of what you're going to say, because other people come in and say things as well. So
yeah, and just doing it every day, you'll find your voice as well. You'll find where you fit in, where your niche is, what people like to listen to from you. and there's only one way you'll ever find that out, and it's just from doing it all the time. So like I found after like 4 or 5 days what people like, the structure of my go lives. So that's just what I do all the time. But I would have known that without doing it. So yeah, just keep doing it. I loved them. I loved them all this week, and I'm guessing
Yours
I
have
don't
been
know.
amazing. Just go for it, yeah. I'd say go for it. The thing that threw me, I might not have seemed nervous. Maybe some people saw I was nervous. But you know what really put me off? The fact that everyone was saying that they were nervous. I was actually really calm, really cool, and I was ready. As soon as I was about to hit the button, I started thinking about the last Mastermind and how everyone was saying they were scared, they were nervous, they were scared. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, oh my God, I've got to do go live. And it started to, that kind of threw me off. So I would say try not to think about it. Imagine you're having a conversation with somebody on your Skype or iPhone or whatever, and for whatever reason you can't see their picture. That's the only difference. And you'll just go and you'll start to get into a flow. Normally I'd say it's about a minute in or less, you start to feel a bit more comfortable, but just try not to worry about it, and don't worry about nerves, because I think a lot of that then made me nervous, even though I'm not a nervous person because I have to talk in front of a lot of people sometimes. When everyone started saying it, it made me go, oh no, what can I do? So please don't worry about it, just do it. If you're worried or scared, try it into, like Lilibeth said, the PQ1 page first, because you know it's only going to be us that's going to see it. And then when you feel a bit confident, whoever you want to see it, do it. But yeah, try not to worry about the nerves and feeling scared and nervous. It's all part of it, but please don't let it put you off, because it almost, like, I know everyone was trying to be helpful, but it almost put me off doing it. So just go for it.
I found with most of my go lives, I've had to do like a bit of confidence meditation, just like a guided thing, just like 5 minutes. So I look on YouTube for guided confidence meditation and just do a quick 5-minute one, because I get quite nervous and scared before those kind of things, and I just feel like I just feel the energy rushing through me and I can't press the go button. So I just do a quick meditation to kind of calm my nerves and kind of settle myself, which I didn't do before the Project Q1 go live. And I don't know if anyone could tell, but I was just like stuttering. You're like, oh, well, I like everyone. And I was like, because I stuttered what I was saying. And I was like, oh, no, of course.
Oh, no, I'm in like the kind of way. You were like, you said, oh, how did you say it? Something like, oh, no, we don't like each other. And I was like, well, some people might like.
Yeah, I so didn't mean that at all. But I think that shows the difference between me not doing a quick meditation before it, and even when I was doing it, and even though it was Project Q1, I still felt like I was sort of tripping over myself a little bit. So for me anyway, I find it a lot easier just to kind of do something just to calm my nerves again.
Yeah. I understand that, Camilla. Like I used to work in sales, and we got sent on this course, like a sales psychology course, and it says when you were speaking to customers and they were negging you out, like, no, I don't want to speak, I don't want this, and you were kind of losing them, said to bring yourself away from the situation. It's called the Superman pose, and if you get a chance, try it. Honestly, God, it worked. All you had, if you feel like you're having a bad day, you've stubbed your toe, you're going to have a bad day, stand there with your hands on your hips like Superman would, and just literally look up and think and smile about your day, about what you want to do. And I promise you, it psychologically increases your confidence by 20%, because the serotonin starts to rush through your brain. So it works. It really works in whatever way you want to do.
Well, I might have to try that then next time.
Well, it's a Supergirl pose for obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexist or anything, so.
I'd quite like to see a few people's go live starting like this.
Yeah, amazing.
Extra points if you wear a cape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, guys, has anybody got any questions? We've been going just over an hour. Anything anyone else wants to discuss or touch on at all?
Challenge this week. A challenge?
You want a new challenge?
Yeah. All the challenges.
All the challenges.
Wear a cape on a go live.
Superman on a go live. No, to be honest with you, Josh, we haven't discussed a new challenge yet. So me and Adam will get on it tonight, and we'll have one with you by tomorrow. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, a weight challenge.
Also, Lilybeth, what internet are you on? Because is anyone? You just sound like you're on a wooden roof. It's like.
I'm not prejudices on the line.
I know a lot of the time we're kind of missing what you're saying.
I'm sorry. I'll get an internet booster just for you guys.
It's all right. Camilla's was like someone was walking behind me.
Right then, is everyone okay? Can we knock off? Right then, guys.
Oh, before we go, can we do a wave and a picture?
Okay.
Waving a picture.
Might help if I turn my camera around. Sorry.
Do you want me to do a screenshot, Camilla?
Oh yeah, if you could do that, and then could you send it to me?
Yeah, I'll put it in the group.
Everybody, Superman poses.
3, 2, 1. Cool. Yeah, it's done.
You did Superman.
Superman did. Right, I'll catch you guys throughout the week and next week.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.